So with our vision of providing the transparency and traceability to our customers, we are looking for developing our blockchain use case on the HAQQ network. And one of the critical elements is how to automate the current manual process of certification into the blockchain. And we've had this conversation before, Andre. So what are your thoughts around that?
From the first days when I got introduced to the blockchain technology, I believed that the first use case of blockchain would be either in enterprise or government sector. I did not believe that public will adopt it first. I was wrong, but now we're seeing that this is coming back, and GoMeat is just one of many examples of this. Blockchain is perfect technology and at the same time perfect selling proposition to for integration, for transparency, integration in the supply chains, in the enterprises and in the government, because these are the areas which require transparency the most. One important aspect of every huge integration is the ability to implement it step by step, not do something which has to build, which requires like years of development. And supply chain, surprisingly, is this particular case. Blockchain can be integrated into supply chain directly in a step-by-step manner. We can integrate blockchain into a centralized supply chain software. First step would be just hook into this tracking system at the points where the product changes status, let's say this way. Like, it was produced, it was transferred, there is some change in storage environment, etc., etc. And at these points, this centralized system just reports back to blockchain, and it in the form of NFT product certificates. And this alone is already enough to provide to significantly increase transparency of the system, thanks to real-time manner of this process. Later, more can be done, but that's the first place. But that's the first step. I also believe that. Can I say that GoMeat? Can I call GoMeat like an Uber for food?
It is essentially like Uber Eats for halal.
Yeah. And
That's
here
what we're trying to create. Yeah.
Thank you. And here comes the second thought. We all saw how Uber or Airbnb and apps like this have been criticized by the community, by users, for non-transparent pricing, for unfair treatment of both consumer and supplier, and no one can do anything with this because it's like a closed black box for outside for a spectator. And integrating blockchain into consumer and supplier relationships dramatically increases this transparency, so everyone can check how demand looks as of today, and compare it to the prices at this moment of time. What I also want to say that Web3 ecosystem kind of lost its initial goals. Initially, when blockchains just starts to working, we've all been dreaming about how blockchain will change normal people's lives, our lives. And now what we see is just a bubble, very isolated bubble of users and services which just trade with each other, and we all forgot about the people living on the earth. And I've been always chasing projects which has this mission of serving real people, real world market, not just some tokens trading with each other.
And this is why, as you said, when we started with the blockchain, with the GoMeat blockchain development, we thought that this is a real life use case. We are trying to solve a problem of billions of consumers worldwide. This is a problem not only for just one specific area or geography. It's a global problem for billions of consumers. It's a huge market out there. And what we are trying to do over here is to solve that problem, that identifying that is this meat really halal, or is it like on where this is sourced and where this is coming from. So that traceability is a natural problem for a lot of consumers, especially in all the Western countries. So when I moved to US about 9 years back, and that was the first thing in my mind, the day I landed, was where to get my halal meat, right? Because I'm one of the consumers. And that's all it started. I've been traveling frequently in the US and didn't get a chance. And then I realized that there must be an on-demand ordering and delivery services. And I connected with my partner, Hamid, who's a co-founder and CTO as well. And we sat together. We are coming from the technology background, and we thought that this blockchain is offering the traceability and transparency aspect. And I think this is the best use case. And if you develop something, this can promote the adoption. And as you rightly mentioned, that a lot of projects, they went for the trading and exchange and like the unrealistic price hikes and pumps and dumps and rug pulls and everything. But we are very proud that our business, what we have created, is based on fundamentals, and it is based on a real life use case where we are facilitating the adoption of the blockchain. And when we were exploring our expansion, because we're ready to scale globally, then we realized that HAQQ is the right platform for us, because you're also doing the same thing for a global market around the world. And if you are building our use case on the HAQQ blockchain, then that's something, the synergies are natural over there. And our communities are almost the same. And this is something which is bring a lot of benefits for our communities. And we know that HAQQ is way bigger and larger than what we are doing. You are definitely doing much bigger vision with, the halal space and the Islamic financing. We are just a small part of it, but we are so glad to be part of that community.
We are all big together. We are all big together. And as I always say, we cannot success alone. What we have done, we just enabled smart people like you with a platform to come and put their projects and ideas and bring it to reality and create a real value with a utility case to the community. So as I can see, the journey started when you went to US and then you were searching for a source of halal meat. So there is a huge need and demand and gap to be covered there. But this is always comes as steps. So step one is, which you are doing now, is helping the people to find easily the sources of the halal meat and halal food. And next one, where the people are, what the people are looking for, is the transparency. If I found it, how I make sure that this is really halal? How I can have traceability on the halal certificate? How I can have traceability on the slaughtering? How I can have traceability on the payments as well? To make sure that this all happening until the payment, also going forward to the supply chain, product tracking, and all this whole cycle. So community in need to have a maturity and to have like a transparent platform that takes them through all these steps with a full transparency, because the target of people going to halal products is to make sure whatever they are getting to their houses is fully halal. And in the past, I don't see there were ability with the technology tools that were available to give this amazing traceability to the community. Today, with the blockchain, with what we are building, with what Andre and the team are doing, actually traceability is not a problem. So we can put the whole cycle there, from your product and connect it with all other products that are being built on HAQQ chain to provide a full lifestyle to the community there. I see Andre and the team building a lot of tools that will help for payments, for trade finance, for many other traceability, and will give full, seamless transactions to the community, especially those who are unbanked. A lot of people in the world, they are unbanked and they need this kind of services. Maybe Andre, he can talk about this because he focuses a lot how he can serve these unbanked people, how it can be easy for them to use and to have variety of payment options without being connecting to a bank account. Maybe you can add something.
Yeah. Blockchain, actually, fundamentally, blockchain already solves this problem, and we're not unique who playing in this field, but there is still one huge problem. Even though you already can transfer your funds from one country to another without dealing with banks and regulations, and you also can come to some country where you are not a resident and don't have a bank account, there you still can find some ways to pay for goods with your crypto. But there is still a huge problem of user experience here. You have to understand how crypto wallets work. You have to understand how to store this mnemonic phrase in a secure way. Or even if you are wise enough to use hardware wallets, which are much more secure than this mnemonic, it's still a problem. First, these devices are pretty expensive for many people. Second, there is still mnemonic which you have to keep somewhere. And when we speak about the Muslim community, we are speaking about countries like Indonesia, Nigeria, and many other countries where living conditions only does not allow people to keep this piece of paper with mnemonic in a safe place. And even if the person understands how to keep the mnemonic in a digital way, like encrypted, separate into pieces and keep it somewhere, many people in these countries, they don't even have a laptop. They are not mobile first, they are mobile only. So our mission here from user experience perspective is to make it not only seamless, but to make it almost exactly the same way as it made in the Web2 world, in a traditional finance. So in HAQQ, we started with this. We implemented our own wallet, mobile wallet. Even though you still can use MetaMask and any other wallet, we focused on mobile, which of course supports this mnemonic phrase. It supports Ledger, soon it will support Keystone wallet, but just in a few days, we're having this huge release in App Store and Google Play, which allows you to create an on-chain account just by connecting your Apple ID or Google account. And it's despite linking this account with the centralized services, it is still non-custodial. You are still the sole owner of this account, and neither Apple or Google have access to your private key. I will not dig into technical details here. We have this blog post, but that's the first step.
Yeah, so if I may add over here, so and this is a great point, because when we started our journey, and our average order meat size in the US is about like $100 an order. Just give an example, because anybody who buys meat, it's not like DoorDash or Uber Eats where food is like $35-40. It's like anybody buying meat just at least for a week or 2 weeks they place an order. So our order size is about $100. And we are like one of the first who is already the crypto wallets are connected MetaMask. But the challenge in MetaMask over there is that if it's $100 order and if you're using Ethereum to place an order, then the transaction fee is like more than the order itself. So that made it very difficult. So that's why we were also looking for the blockchain which can provide transaction speed as well as the processing fee is something which is negligible, so that it can encourage the adoption of the token itself. Although our token is bringing a lot of utilities like free promotions and discounts and free deliveries and all those things, but because of this, the speed, because we don't want consumer to checking out, wait 30 minutes so that the transaction process or pay exorbitant amount of fees for that. So what do you say about that in context of HAQQ wallets?
Yeah, that's a great point. Not many people know about transaction finality. You're a supplier, you're coming to a consumer, you give him this crypto post terminal, he pays, you give him goods, and you drive away. And you're still not sure that your crypto, that you actually got this money. Transaction can be refunded, but the person already ate this food. So finality matters a lot when we speak about retail. And HAQQ, thanks to Tendermint, now Comet BFT consensus, and Cosmos SDK has instant finality. One transaction gets to the block, it is actually there, and it can be considered final. The block time is currently on HAQQ. Block time is 5.5 seconds on average, so it takes only 5 to 6 seconds to finalize transaction. Be sure that it will not be reverted.
And this is music to our ears because we're looking for the blockchain where we have the right community, where the transaction speed is as fast as you mentioned, and we in the retail business with the lowest gas fees as well. So I think that it's a perfect synergy that we are trying to establish over here. And I do see a lot of potential and a long way to go for us with the huge market that we have in front of us.
I see the trust and easiness is a key for success of this process. So trust, because the people, when they go to the restaurants or when they go to have food or when they order food online in different countries, especially as you mentioned in US, they want to make sure that this source that's bringing me the food is really halal.
Right.
So I can see GoMeat in future is like a verification badge where when I see these suppliers like partner and sourcing their food through GoMeat, me as a user, I can trust them more because I know GoMeat with HAQQ, it gives they give me transparency and traceability.
Correct.
So whatever I will receive, I can check and it will take me to HAQQ chain. I can see the certificate, I can see the whole process, and I can complete this circle by doing the payment. Now in Islamic Coin and HAQQ, we have soon, it's already ready, but it will be available for a whole community soon, the Islamic Coin cards. And people can use it also to complete their payment. So we're talking about a full cycle. Trust is one, to check and have traceability in the whole process, and then to complete your payment in halal blockchain using Sharia compliant currency. That gives the community more comfort about having a full halal cycle, and that will make it easy, because in future also when they go to restaurants, I can see that the payment will not only be to pay the food, but maybe they can pay the full bills of that restaurant using the Islamic Coin card, where you have a full cycle not only for the meat, but for whatever they are ordered.
Right.
It gives easiness, more comfort. And when I talk about easiness, it's for people who don't want complication.
Right.
They don't want, why they are unbanked actually.
Right.
There are
Confidence and comfort.
So
yes.
when they have the HAQQ wallet, and in very easy way with a button press, I can complete everything, either buying or paying or whatever, or verifying that this is halal. Of course, we will see huge adoption.
Right. Absolutely. The adoption is the key over here, and adoption is only possible when we have a real life use case, when we have the technology which is facilitating. And of course, with all the benefits where it brings confidence and comfort to the consumers for the traceability aspect, for the transparency aspect, and especially the payment modernization part of it. As you mentioned, a lot of people unbanked. You're launching Islamic coin cards, which is amazing. And the way we see it is that there's a lot of synergies between us, especially like we have a lot of offerings for our consumers, like whoever is placing an order using our token, GOMT token, is getting a lot of rewards in terms of cashbacks, which could be like based on our collaboration, could be in terms of the Islamic coin itself as a cashback, placing an order using our app. So those kind of synergies, so it's kind of like they're gaining benefit out of that transaction itself. And that is one part of it. The other part is, of course, we do believe in giving back to the communities as well. It's not, of course, profit is important to sustain the organization and to grow, but we strongly believe in giving back to the communities. And one of the things that we are doing in the US, especially, is that we are collaborating with many Islamic centers where we are launching promotions and discounts, and we are giving massive discounts on the meat products itself. We want to make sure that in these high inflation times, people using our app get cheaper meat and food than if they have to go and stand in the store and wait for 2 hours and then they get it, and some reward of that. So the time value of money is one part of it, but the monetary element of that as well. And on top of that, we're also planning to give a lot of like per sign up $1 donation to the Islamic centers who are the subscribers of those Islamic centers. If they're signing up in our app, that Islamic center will be donated $1 per sign up, so that it supports those centers too. And of course, we are promoting and supporting some local communities, events. We are sponsoring those events, so we are creating that brand, making more and more awareness. And I think that we've been very successful in the US. We are ready for scale globally, and with collaboration with HAQQ, we are looking forward for that expansion.
May I ask you a question? For our community members who just got introduced to the GoMeat, what's the utility of GoMeat token, and why people outside of US, outside of areas where you operate, would want to buy some of these tokens?
That's an absolute fantastic question, and I'm glad you asked. So when we created the project, a lot of people were creating the project just because to create another cryptocurrency to be traded on an exchange and for the investment purposes. Just to summarize, the utility of our tokens, they're like multi-folds. We have multiple stakeholders. We have Sharia board, certification boards, one of the stakeholders. We have stores and restaurants, which are the second stakeholder. Third is the consumer itself. The fourth one is the driver. So each one of those has different benefits from that token, that complete tokenomics that we have created. So for the consumers, if they're placing an order using the GoMeat token, they will get whatever discount. If it's a 15% discount campaign running, if they're using our own GMT token, they'll get additional 10% discount on top of it. Whatever the current running discounts are, they'll get additional 10% discount on top of that. So that means that they'll get cheaper food and meat if they're placing an order using our token. Number two, whoever places an order using our token, there's free delivery. There's no delivery charge on if the order is placed using the GOMT token. Number three is that there's, of course, the cashbacks as well, that if they're placing an order using the token, the cashback is basically 2% that we are offering to our consumers, and that's somewhere we can collaborate with Islamic Coin as well, that as a cashback, they can get Islamic Coin too. And there are several ideas we are working through on how we collaborate. So that's for the consumer perspective on a high level. Then from the store perspective is that when we are settling the payments with the stores, and if they're getting 5-star reviews, they're getting rewarded in our tokens. Same for the delivery drivers. If they're getting 5-star ratings, so that we improve the quality of service as well. If they are getting 5-star ratings, then they'll reward it in the GMT tokens. And if you see that this entire tokenomics is that placing an order and then going back to the store and then going back to the driver, and then so it's a complete tokenomics that we have created. And for the Sharia board is all the Sharia certification boards are not-for-profit organizations. They run on donations basically. So we, of course, with every order, we are giving some tokens to them as well, so that they can stake and they can get rewarded and they can, promote and continue their operations, because they're definitely in need of donations to maintain their operations. So This is the utility factors for some of it. And then, of course, there are like associated utilities like for the delivery drivers, like maybe they can get paid if they want in the GoMeat token. Same with the store. If they want to get settled in the GoMeat token, then they can get settled in the GoMeat token itself. And so just a summarize of it. Do you want to add anything?
I think the biggest after that is every single transaction that's run on a GoMeat platform, we are burning certain amount of token on a monthly basis. That's reducing number of tokens also in the market. And then it helps the stores a lot more because the more tokens they receive, the more 5-star rewards. They can take that token to advertise on a platform. So they can be available to get marketing banners and all that stuff on a platform. So easier for the customer to see.
Let me tell you that what we are building on HAQQ is a complete cycle. What do I mean by this? So there are a lot of other applications and projects that can be the best fit for your future plans. And that's the beauty about HAQQ blockchain. So you start with a project like yours to help the community to find the best sources to build the trust and make the technology easy. But then you have a roadmap. You want to build step number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And I can assure you that for these all upcoming steps, there are a certain apps already in the pipeline of HAQQ that can shorten the way for you.
That's
where
amazing.
you can just plug these applications and get everything ready for you. We spoke about the loyalty, spoke about the donation. I can tell you also about microfinance, Sharia compliant microfinance, where it's all coming soon on the chain.
Fabulous to
So
do
the
that.
people even who cannot want to buy the products through your platform and they don't have enough cash, they can use the microfinance. Loyalty side, you can use also the other apps. So it's all complementing each other to provide a unique user experience and value to the community.
Well, this is great to know because this is fully compliant with our plans, though, as you said, step by step. And we do see a lot of potential in the market. Of course, there's a lot of potential, but the collaboration and the synergies are outstanding. And I'm sure that our communities, eventually we all working to get maximum benefit to the communities. I think that that's what we are looking for, like-minded collaboration. It's not just for the money part of it. Money is of course important, but then it's the service of the community is also very essential. The adoption, one of the thing, is very essential. Like the technology has to be facilitator. The use case has to be something which is needed. Like everybody consume food, right? It's a daily thing. It's a necessity. So I think that we have all the right ingredients, and we, it's great to work with the leadership like yours, who has that vision, which is like completely aligned with what we thought, years back. And we're just looking forward and cannot be happy enough and thank enough to you guys to, make us part of the HAQQ chain.
It's an honor.
But same here.
Couple of words about milestones in short and long-term future. I believe the primary focus now is to actually bring GoMeat on HAQQ, starting with the GMT token. We aim for token deployment on HAQQ in January, but what's more important is the way how it will be distributed. We communicated to our community a lot and identified a huge problem of accessibility of crypto, not just Islamic coin, but crypto in general in Muslim countries. People keep getting rejected by centralized exchanges. Even though they did not anything wrong, they are not in sanctions list, whatever, they are normal citizens, but just the fact that they are from some country where people automatically get ineligible for registration cuts them off this the crypto distributed via centralized exchange. That's one of the reasons why we are aiming for initial distribution of GMT token on HAQQ based on SushiSwap, which recently got deployed on our network. So as soon as token is deployed, we collaborate on creating a pool consisting of GMT token from one side and Islamic coin token from other side. So whoever has Islamic coins on HAQQ can go to SushiSwap directly in the HAQQ wallet and use Islamic coins to buy GMT token.
That is going to be phenomenal. This is same as like the DEX concept, right? So it's more like we put liquidity for both the Islamic coin as well as for the GOMT, and it will be easier for anybody to swap the Islamic coin with the GOMT token on the prevailing rates they have, and they can use it in the apps if they want to place an order, if they want to hold it for a long-term purpose, or they want to stake it, whatever they want to do. So it's definitely a convenience and benefit for the consumers and the community.
Yeah, actually, this discussion, what Andre said and what you've said, it leads us to notice that we are on the way forward to something called the super utility, which we are creating on HAQQ blockchain for the Islamic coin holders. Our vision and what we want to do actually is not to attract people who want to speculate.
Right.
That's not the right destination for them. They can do in any other place. They're more than welcome. But what we are building, we are creating a value. We are creating alternative super utility. The people who hold the coins, they know that there are a lot of channels and verticals where they can utilize these coins and get a lot of benefits and value rather than go and speculate. So what we are trying to building that goes also with the Sharia finance principles, ethics and values is that we create balance. And that reflects on the economy sustainability and on the Web3 sustainability. So we want to create a model that the Sharia compliant Web3 is the most sustainable model on the chain. So this is what we are planning to have.
This is amazing. And I think our visions are the same, to provide more convenience and benefit to the communities and make it easier for them to utilize, to have something which they can actually use for a meaningful purpose. So GoMeat, we are looking forward to it, part of the HAQQ family, and we have a long way to go for that.
That's why I call it always lifestyle.
Right.
We're not just bringing financial part or halal products, but it's a lifestyle there. And on the roadmap soon, where Andre and the team working day and night to create an application called Everything App. So people will have from one application a lot of things that they need, and it will be definitely integrated with GoMeat, so people can just go from there and source what they need for their daily life.
Right. And I'll just add over there that we are well on our way for our expansion beyond US as well. So right now the service is available in the US, but we are definitely on the way to expand beyond US. There are some other announcements also coming up from the GoMeat in that context. And I think that we will be sooner or later coming to all the countries or areas where the HAQQ chain is available and where we have the communities over there, so they can actually use the service and see it themselves and get the benefit out of that.
Interesting. Me, myself, I can't wait to hear that things coming and to be announced, of course.
Thank you. Thank you. So in terms of, if I just add a little bit in terms of the GoMeat milestones and roadmap, as I mentioned that we have a expansion plan beyond the US. Other than that, we have ramped up our apps, all the technology, the platform, and we will be integrated with the HAQQ chain. And that is our next step, which we plan in January onwards. That's what we plan to do. But besides that, we have some very aggressive plans in terms of the scale of our business and to increase the number of the customers that we have. So that is something. And as I said, like, we are a project which is based on a fundamental business with a fundamental idea. There's a need, there's a problem out there. We have a solution available with us. So there are a lot of exciting things happening, and our communities will definitely be the most beneficial out of what we are putting our efforts in.
Thank you. And actually, something attracted me that what you are building, actually, it goes with our vision, because you focus on different parts. You focus on the technology, you focus on the trust, you focus on bridging the communication gap and reach gap, and also you focus on important part, which giving back to the community.
Right.
And that's where we focus a lot.
Right.
And that's what Sharia finance is about.
Right.
Ethics and values of Sharia to always focus on putting the community first.
Right.
So giving back is one of the most important verticals we focus on.
Exactly. And that's one of the enablers for the adoption as well. I honestly see that as one of the key elements for adoption if you focus on that part.
One last but very important thing, we are actually working on a mechanics for our community to community members who believe in mission in general, but don't have either expertise or time to dig into every project and assess by himself. These mechanics will allow these people to participate in ecosystem and benefit from ecosystem members' financial success. And I'm very proud to say that GoMeat will be one of the first members of this ecosystem programs. It's very important that it is a real-world company which already has an operational processes and actual revenue.
I would just say that thank you so much for that trust in us, and we really appreciate that. And this is something that we are also very proud of what we have developed. Our visions are alike. We want to benefit the communities with us. We want to make sure that we gain confidence. We want to make sure that we have more and more adoption. We want to provide them the technology, which is coming from the HAQQ chain, and with the services, which is coming from the GoMeat. I do see that as a perfect synergy and the right project for anybody from the community to explore and evaluate more. Thank you.